You smell that? Almost smells like the weekend. You made it to Thursday. One more day, baby. One more day. Fun fact, I'm actually singing at a friend's wedding this weekend, and I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first gig. It's really just a wedding singer gig, but still, it's for one of my best friends, Dan Hardy, who I was on the Hardy Heights podcast with just a couple weeks ago. And I'm so excited to be honoring him and his beautiful wife, Angela, by singing a song. I won't tell what it is, but it's a very special number that they've picked out. And it's sentimental to them. And I've been practicing all week. And the song is a little bit out of my range, so he had to change it up 4 keys. So, yes, I've been practicing, and I'm excited for that on Saturday. And I got to find a fedora. So let's dive right into the Papcast. The Papcast. What happened? I just turned it like I was in Michigan. Maybe I should do the first story. A list of videos that put YouTube on the map includes Chocolate Rain, Charlie Bit My Finger, Leroy Jenkins, and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. No, I'm going to have to do the Midwestern thing. Did you get those videos again? Chocolate Rain. Fun fact, my friend Dan Hardy, who I'm singing at his wedding this weekend, actually got me a cameo video from the singer of the Chocolate Rain song. I forget his name. But he sounds just like he sings. He's like, "Hello, Bobby. I heard that you're a big fan." And it's one of the coolest videos I've ever had. And you know that one. Ouch, Charlie. Leroy Jenkins, Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. That's a really fun one, too. President Trump suggested the other day that he's not doing well when it comes to his chances of getting into heaven. Interesting thing to say, but he thinks it'll help if he can broker a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. You know, draw your own conclusions, as SNL would say. Coffee talk. Gary Oldman, who to me is one of the best actors in Hollywood, thinks the world has gone to crap since David Bowie passed away in January of 2016. He says, quote, "It was like he was the cosmic glue or something. When he died, everything fell apart." Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. Gary Oldman, what's your favorite Gary Oldman role? I will just go with the fact that he played Mason Verger in Hannibal. To me, that's special because I was in my boy band when that movie came out, and I didn't even know who Gary Oldman was at that time, but I just know that he looked really crazy in that makeup getup with his cut up face, and it was all prosthetics. But one of my favorite lines that he did was, "Have you accepted Jesus, Agent Starling?" And then he was like, "Do you have faith?" That's so funny. And he's like, "Ciao bella, come stai." Anyway, I could go on and on with that role. It's just, he's a genius. He's wonderful in everything he does. Austin Butler, A-list heartthrob. He's got abs, blonde hair. What's not to love? He plays a former baseball player in his new movie Caught Stealing, and director Darren Aronofsky, I hope I said that right, sent him pictures of baseball players with thick butts so he could get into shape for the role. That is wild to me. He's the director of your film is like, here's some guys with bubble butts, get into this shape. That is crazy to me, but what a reference though. At least you know what you're looking for. Home Improvement stars Patricia Richardson, Richard Karn, and Debbie Dunning will guest star on Tim Allen's latest sitcom, Shifting Gears. The episode will air on October 1st. By the way, are you excited for Halloween? I'm in full Halloween mode because the new Conjuring Last Rites movie comes out in just a couple weeks. I'm taking my daughter Ava to Chicago for that. I'm so excited because that's her first big girl daddy daughter trip with me, and we're gonna go see a horror movie. So fun bonding time over the cursed stuff of Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Bear is a comedy or drama. A lot of people are wondering. That's that Hulu show that's getting like huge like ratings and people love it. So a lot of people want to know, do you think it's a comedy or a drama? I've not watched it. My sister says it's really good. So I don't know. To me, it looks dramatic. Some of the stuff, the screen caps that I see, but it also, I can understand how it's funny because drama can be funny. Like Mommy Dearest is technically not a comedy, but to me, I laugh out loud when she beats Tina with the wire hanger. Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer is the most played song on classic rock stations this year so far. It's followed by Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Where do we go now? At number 2, and Sweet Child of Mine in 3rd. Guns N' Roses, man, they got great hits. I was kind of out of that demographic of listening, but my older cousin Sean, may he rest in peace, was a huge Guns N' Roses fan, so I know of that by them and by listening to it on Peak FM when I used to work there. Post Malone is the new face of Skims Men. He just appeared in an underwear campaign for them, which is really interesting because he's completely shirtless in these camel underwear. And by the way, just so you know, his world tour starts in just a day with Jelly Roll. So the first show overseas is in Lithuania. But I want to get back to his underwear shoot because it's him. He's got the cap on. He's got the beard. He's missing a cigarette in this picture, which is kind of odd because he's never pictured without one. But he's got the camel underwear on, and every square inch of his torso is completely tattooed except his nipple areas, the areolas, if you will. And it reminded me a little bit of Regina George and Mean Girls when Janice cuts out the nipples for her wife beater tank top that she wears out of the girls' locker room. And because you just see like tattoo, 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 and then just white skin. I just think it's funny. It's just really funny to me. Casey Musgraves, one of my favorite artists. She transcends the country genre to me. She's just ethereal pop to me. She just launched a new relationship on Instagram with a horse. Her name is Nava, and she made the trek from Oregon to Tennessee to be at her forever home with Casey, which I think is very, very sweet. And I'll leave you with a story about one of my least favorite celebrities, but he's pretty popular. Morgan Wallen. He's just at the top of the charts all the time. He just seems to win. He's also the guy who said, "Get me to God's country" on SNL. He's got a doppelganger who happens to be a police officer in Nashville. That's already 2 check marks for why he's already probably really highly thirsted over. Cop and Morgan Wallen, which is ironic because Morgan Wallen's previous run-ins with Nashville police was not the best when he threw those chairs over the edge of the balcony. Remember that? Thought I'd remind you. So head over to BobbyDon.com for all my links. That's where you can find all my social handles, all my streaming handles. Thank you for watching or streaming wherever you get your podcasts. And I really appreciate the support. This is fun for me. And I love talking with you because I feel like we're besties and I can trust and confide in you with all my pop culture gossip because nobody else listens to me. So thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. And I can't leave you without a brief message from my sponsors. CS Custom Blinds. They are Colorado owned for your Colorado home. They are locally owned and operated right here in our community for 15 plus years. Bree and Pete, they're a husband and wife couple, and they work their fingers to the bone to make sure that you are absolutely satisfied. That means customer satisfaction is their top priority and getting you the best prices. They work with American-made products, which means they control the quality of the products, which they sell to you, which means you get the best prices. And we're doing the last push for summer because we're officially headed into fall, and now is the time to lock in lower prices. So in lieu of putting a down payment, you can actually do 0% financing for up to 18 months, which is a pretty good deal because you don't have to worry about any interest payments for 18 months. That's over like a year and a half. So might as well lock in those prices while we can. Exterior shades like the Sunsetter, the motorized awning retractable experience, which I think is so cool. Every time I've seen a Sunsetter in action, I'm just like, that is so awesome. I think at this point I want to get one for myself, but I want to get the Sunsetter for the front of my house because that's the part that gets really hot. Also, speaking of Sunsetters, they also do interiors, blinds, shutters, shades, anything you can imagine or dream of, they can make happen in your home. And I'm telling you, not only do window coverings add like a makeover to your house, they make you fall in love all over again, but they are energy efficient, so you will save some money on that utility bill. Who doesn't want to save there? Call today for a free home estimate, 719-344-2799, or visit them online at cscustomblinds.com. CS Custom Blinds, Colorado owned for your Colorado home. Have a wonderful, happy Friday Eve, aka Thursday.